Pinging a machine on my local network gets an unreachable response from my own IP address? Edit for future readers who get here from Google. This question is now the top Google result when searching for destination host unreachable from my own IP address. If that's how you got here, then you should know that my problem was a silly one, probably caused by temperamental hardware, so don't bother reading through the walls of text below. The sole piece of information that's probably useful to you comes from Harry Johnston's comment below. Getting a destination unreachable message from your own machine is normal behavior in recent Windows versions. It just means that the ARP failed, i.e., the IP address couldn't be located on the LAN. To confirm this, try running ARP-A on your machine, and you'll see a list of all the IP addresses that could be found on your LAN. If you don't see the IP address that you're trying to ping, then that explains why your pings are returning unreachable from your own machine. As for how to fix that problem, it could be caused by anything. Try resetting your router, resetting your network adapters, fiddling with static/dynamic IP addresses, etc. etc. If you came from Google, you probably just want to read the above. I've been trying to play Terraria on my home network, but I'm having troubles. After checking that the Terraria game and server were being allowed through Windows Firewall on both machines, I decided to see if the two machines could ping each other, and they can't. At home I have router 1 downstairs, connected to the internet. This is 192.168.1.1. Router 2 is upstairs, connected to router 1 by Cat5, providing Wi-Fi to the two machines in question. This is 192.168.1.254. Both machines can successfully ping both routers, and can use the internet just fine. However, when I try to ping one machine from the other, I get destination host unreachable from the machine that is sending the ping. For example, when I'm sitting at 192.168.1.2. And the other way. Here is the ipconfig from my machine. Why can't I ping between these machines, and why is the error reply coming from the originating machine? Edit as requested. Edit. Route table for second machine.
I have no idea why, but for some reason, resetting the wireless adapter on the Vista machine fixed all the problems. I hadn't thought to do that yet because the internet, and pinging the two routers, was working flawlessly on that machine. I'm confused as to how a USB Wi-Fi dongle could cause local network traffic to fail, while having internet work fine, but there you go. Sorry to everyone who wasted time reading my in-depth descriptions and trying to figure this out. Your help is appreciated.
Check the setup of your Wi-Fi router. Some routers have an option to disallow communication between hosts on the Wi-Fi interface. This option is useful for hotspots but not for home networks. There's also a setting called app isolation, which prevents communication between wired and wireless clients. On a Linksys router you can find it under Advanced Wireless Settings.
Okay. So, just to cover some basics. The second router upstairs is not using DHCP to pass out IP addresses, correct? If it is, you should turn off that service on the second router. I'm not saying to turn it off on both. The second router should essentially be set up in bridge mode, where it simply allows other computers to connect to the network it is part of. For example, with a Belkin router, you would simply enable bridge mode and multiple features, like DHCP, would be turned off and made inaccessible. Now, have you turned off the Windows firewalls for each of these computers for testing purposes yet? That should be done to ensure that the firewall included with Windows isn't causing the ping request to be blocked. You didn't say which version of Windows you are using, and with Windows 7 icon are indeed blocked by default with a built-in firewall. So, if you wanted to continue to use the firewall, you would have to create an exception on each computer to allow icon ping requests through. This doesn't mean the computers can't communicate with each other. You could have multiple network sharing services actively working with Windows 7 and still be blocked from pinging the machines. But at the very least, disabling the firewall temporarily for testing would be the way to go to see if indeed it is the firewall at issue here. As a side note, can you view shared directories from each computer in question? Swap files, etc. At any rate, I've been trying to play Terraria on my home network, but I'm having troubles. After checking that the Terraria game and server were being allowed through Windows Firewall on both machines, I decided to see if the two machines could ping each other, and they can't. You left out something. You set up the server, gave it an exception in the firewall, you set up a client, gave it an exception in the firewall, and then decided to ping each computer. You didn't say what happened in between. Was it that you started the game on the client machine, and it couldn't see the server? Or did you think, I wonder if these computers can even see each other, I'd better ping them. Before you tried to connect the client to the server, did you stick with the default port of 7777?
Try pinging the opposite way, i.e. from your destination back to you. For me, doing that action put in the entry of the destination in the sources, RPA table. My over-explanation: I had this issue with a Windows 11 PC could not ping a Raspberry Pi Zero. Both connected to the internet, and my Windows 11 PC said it was Windows' fault, cause my own IP was the host that said the destination was unreachable. RPA did not show it in the list. I logged onto the terminal of Raspberry Pi, pinged back to my Windows PC, then presto. The problem resolved itself. RPA now showed the destination. Yes, the original poster could not ping in either direction, but this is still the first Google page, and it may help someone.